Hey welcome to your favorite cooking channel. This is Cooking with Ava as always. Today we're going to be making spring rolls and samosa, as easy as ABCD, and you can have this for your snack, dessert, any time of the day, and mwah, 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 mwah. But do well to subscribe, do well to like, do well to share, and watch this video to the end and learn from it as well. So for your spring roll recipe, you're going to need flour. Yes, the quantities are in the description button below. Then you need a bit of salt to make the flour not taste flat, and then I use some nutmegs and some curry powder. So curry powder has natural spices blended in with the turmeric, which will give it a nice color and nice flavor as well. If you use your flour just like that, it's going to be very flat in there. Now I'm going to also reserve a portion of the flour, which I'll use to do the ends to close it up. And then for the batter or the mixture I'm going to use to create the spring roll wraps, I need to add water to the flour to get it as liquid as possible. You should be very careful when you're doing the batter, because if it is too runny, your spring rolls will not be too firm. So you realize that it would easily break or tear apart when you do it, and then when you're also rolling and when you fry it as well, they can easily break open. When it comes to the flour you want to use for your spring rolls, you can use either the soft pastry flour or the hard pastry flour. The hard pastry flour gives you more of a crunchy, firm bit than the soft pastry flour, but then they all work. Whichever one you use is going to work. Then I personally just add in a tablespoon of oil just to add up to the feel and the texture and also the look of it once it's done, but that is very much optional. Then for my filling, I was using some corned beef and some fried and cut cuttlefish in the modernity. Then I also added some pepper sauce and some vegetables. Preferably I used the scallions or the spring onions, the regular onions, and then some green pepper as well. You can add any filling you want, just make sure that they are not overly chunky and they have some taste and flavor in there as well. So for my wraps, all I need is my frying pan or any pan, a little bit of oil or butter or margarine of fat to help it not stick into the pan, and then the butter itself. Preferably, it's good to use a non-stick pan. It is easy to work with a non-stick pan than if you're using an aluminium pan, because those ones, they can easily they can easily stick into it. So you just need to be careful. And another thing about your pan is, if you don't have a pastry brush you can use to easily grease it lightly, you can use a tissue paper and then dip it into your oil and use it to just clean inside the pan. You don't want to get it too greasy as well, or else it won't form beautifully. And then you need to mix it in there. If you mix your butter and it's not too smooth, you can just sieve it out to get it very fine, then you start frying. So usually you just pour in, find a ladle which is a good fit or a good size for your pan, and heat up your pan till it's very hot. Then you pour the butter in, then you spread it in the pan. I realize sometimes when you use a spoon and things to readjust it or like spread the butter, you get lines in between. So personally I just spread it with the pan, then I leave it to just finish cooking by itself. Once the butter goes in, you should use very low heat. If you use high heat, it's just going to turn brown and toasty early, but then it may not be well done. Yes, and you can decide to do both sides or just do one side. The trick for me is that I put it on low heat and I let the color totally change. That means that it is well cooked all throughout. Then I take it off the pan, because sometimes when you try to do both sides of the wrap, if you don't take care, you may end up tearing it or defacing it. So that's my trick to doing my spring roll or samosa wraps. Yes, these can be used for spring rolls and it can be used for samosas as well. So you just repeat the process till you are done with all your wraps, and it's as simple as ABC. You can check the description button for the quantities as well. Keep a tray by your side for picking your wraps once you're done, and have something you can easily use to work with. So like I said, you can do it both sides. These are both sides. If you don't take care, you may get some creeps coming up which you may not really be a fan of. So once I'm done, I just put it onto my preparation grounds, and it's good to do all your wraps before you start with the filling. Yes, so the reserved flour I just added in water in there. Then you need to make this as thick as possible, because it's going to be the glue or the bond for your spring roll wraps. Yes, so that one, usually you can use like 2 tablespoons and a tablespoon, and you can use like water, same quantity, or just a little less than that, and you mix it as thick as possible. I'm going to use it all across or around your spring roll or samosa wraps, especially at the end of it. Yes, that's the main thing. If you don't do this, you have a high risk of it bursting open or opening up. So there's more like your bonding glue for your spring rolls or your samosas. And so for the spring rolls, you just go round, 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 round. Yes, circle, circle, big circle, just a big circle all across it to help you out. So this is one thing you need to do. You can't avoid this process. If you avoid it, you're going to have issues with your rolling and your frying as well. So once that's done, I then proceed to add in the filling, put it in the center. Yes, and at the center, don't take it more than, like, don't put it at the real center, but then put it in the middle. But then it should be just like 1/3. When you divide into 1/3, the last quarter, yes, you use that part, because you want to roll it beautifully. If you don't roll it well too, it can easily burst. And there are 2 ways to roll your spring rolls. You can roll the sides in, then you roll it to get this look, or you could roll it all down. When you're done, then you use your thumb to tuck in the ends. That's another way to roll your spring rolls. So when you do the sides and you roll, you get more neat looking spring rolls. And if your wraps are a bit soft or troublesome, you are able to go away with it without being caught. Yes, so that is the 2 ways you can go about it, so whichever works for you. And for your samosa, I'm just going to divide my circles into semicircles, because samosas are usually smaller and you need to do a triangle, and it's easy to work with a triangle from a semicircle. So that one to your semicircle, divide into like 1/3 and then put your filling into it. Then you roll it this way. So this is going to give you a very nice shaped triangle. And yeah, I just need to just close the ends. Don't forget, I also did well to use the flour mixture around it to get it a clean end. And as simple as ABCD. This is how easy it is to make samosas at home. Very, very, very easy. You can make it depending on how you want to fold it. You can make it like go twice around it or just once, and you can also decide to also tuck it in or close the ends. Yes, like a flap, like I did with this one, or you could do like the first one, just close the ends. And that depends first and foremost on the look you want to get, secondly on the quality of your wraps. If your wraps don't turn out well, you have to be smart and figure out how best to fold it. But usually I just like to fold the ends, and sometimes just do the flap over, just in case my oil is too hot or something goes wrong and it wants to burst out. Yes, but then either way, all of them works. And yes, that's it. So once you're done, you can then heat your oil up. Once it's hot, you put it in, then you reduce your oil's heat to low or medium high. If it's too high, it's going to brown, but then the inside is not going to be well cooked. But if it's done constant low heat, you realize that it comes more crisp and more firm. And if you have a cut or a burst on your spring roll, do well to fry that part up. Don't put that part into the oil. It's going to break further, and then the whole filling is going to go in. And as it's in the oil, you have to be turning it for all the sides to cook beautifully as well. So when it comes to spring rolls, it's all about preparation, and your prep time could be about 15-20 minutes depending on the quantity of your batch. But once you're able to finish your wraps and you do your fillings, it's just the frying, which doesn't take too long. And so you need to be well prepared, have your ingredients there, do your wraps first, and then roll them all out. Then you go into the frying process, and that becomes very, very easy for you as well. So you can do this simple, tasty spring rolls and samosas at home with so much ease. Please make sure you do it deep frying as well. Don't do shallow fry. Spring rolls are supposed to be covered with the oil, so do a deep fry to give you good results. And yeah, this is ready for any day, any event at your disposal. You can have this for your whole family, for a family treat and all those ones. So I hope you did learn a lot from this recipe. I hope you're going to give it a try at home. Yes, pamper yourself small. Sometimes spoil the families with these simple recipes or snacks you can have at home. Yes, so my little nephew helped us see what is in. Yes, you see it's still crunchy and hard. Yes, it was a bit hot. Yes, and you see the inside is looking beautiful. These days you can go and buy spring rolls and it's just air inside or it's just beans inside. So you can just make yours at home and make it as rich as you'd like it, as tasty as you like it, and as healthy as you like it, because there are no adulterations in there. Now samosas also came out beautiful. Just the ones that we didn't tack in the ends. You still see it's very well closed. The inside is still well filled and is so yes, do give this recipe a try at home. Till I see you in the next food video, do live life to the fullest, be joyous, be merry. Lots of love from my team and I.